Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks. Tyler, is the internet working out there in rural Pennsylvania out there? Did you move next to the Amish? We got this thing going? I can't hear you.
I said I hope so. I was hoping to check it out before we went live, but didn't get that chance.
That's okay. Well, so far so good. So let's be honest. It's your time to shine. Your guys are going to probably have a night tonight. The Celtics have been the ultimate zigzag team so far in this playoffs, and I always say they can't win two games in a row, but they don't lose two games in a row either. They always seem to bounce back from these bad performances. That's been the story of the playoffs. They'll be back home. We expect the role players to shoot better. I think there'll be eyes on the officials. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not as excited about tonight as I thought I would be. I'm worried that like Steph and Dre are going to be on the bench like within like 6 minutes of the game, right? Just because the NBA is kind of famous for their makeup calls. But get me out of my doldrums here, Tyler. Tell me about the game.
Yeah, I mean, I see everyone, their mother's on Boston here, which kind of worries me.
Not
Every
everybody.
article I've
Not
read this
everybody.
morning. Well, every article I've read this morning says Boston
Well,
this,
we the
Boston
people
that.
needs the right article then.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to the chat yet, Spread. So
Okay.
let me get into my breakdown. But yeah, every article I've read has been Boston this morning, and that makes me worry a little bit. Even though all the trends point towards Boston, they're after a loss, they're perfect in the playoffs. They have Scott Foster here, which they have 12-0 in his last games.
Mm-hmm.
But just like you said, he's the only one on them, which kind of makes me worry here with everyone on Boston. So the plus 3.5, I might take a stab on, but I think I'm just going back to the under in this game.
Really? You're going to the NorCal side, huh?
I'm just worried that everyone's on Boston here, and it kind of everyone's going to load up on them. They're going to bounce back, and I could see it being they lose game 3, win game 4.
I mean, how much of that is just the fact that that's how the NBA is, and this isn't just a this season thing. This has been a 20 years thing. Whenever okay, because first of all, I don't think the officiating was as bad as all these Celtics fans want to make it out. But it's true there were some moving screens.
I mean, your guy should have been kicked out of the game. If it was anybody else, he'd have been kicked out of the game.
No, he shouldn't have.
He would have got his second technical when he was pulling on Jaylen
For
Brown's
what?
pants. For landing on him, talking to him, trying to rip his pants off. Like, that would have been a technical and any other player. The only reason it wasn't because he already
Ron Artest did that back in the day, right?
And it was
just with pants and people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump into the specifics of it. Richie Smalls thinks Klay's goes off tonight, man. I've been struggling with Klay, man, and that's one of my biggest reasons I'm not like as high as I was on the Warriors when we were doing our preseason or pre-finals preview. He just hasn't looked to be the same guy. Do you think we get a better shooting night from Klay Thompson?
I'm not banking on it. Could it happen? Yes, but I'm not taking it.
Okay. Who are you looking for a big night from?
I mean, probably Steph again. But, I mean, the Boston guys could have big games. Poole could have another one. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, though. I mean, the pace in that game, too, was slower than Dallas's regular season pace, which was dead last in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They had 33 three-pointers in game 1 that put that game over. Last game came in at 195. We're still getting at 212 here. I think I'm just going to go under again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind the under at all. So, and of course, I will be on live with the Sports Keg tonight, who puts a good comment in the chat, right? And he makes a ton of sense here. If you aren't a Run Pure Bet subscriber, you're costing yourself money. The sheet made 25 units of profit on Sunday between MLB and NASCAR. Are you leaving out the 2 units of tennis profit that I made, Keg? So, anyways, we're having a good time there at Run Pure, cashing a lot of bets, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. And of course, I'll be a part of the live show with Jonathan Nelson tonight, and we can continue this conversation there. What a surprise! A Lakers fan thinks that Draymond should have been ejected. Yeah, I guess I could have gone either way. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have been the worst thing. But like I said before, well, not before, because I don't know if we talked about this yet, but like, is it going to be a fun game to watch tonight if the refs get their get back and Steph and Dre are on the bench with 6 minutes to go in the first with two with two fouls. Like, do you want to watch the game without Dre and Steph? I personally don't. I want to see the best players on the floor.
Yeah, I want to see the best players on the floor also, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Draymond on the bench quicker than Steph here. I mean, yeah, Steph could pick up the quick fouls, but I think they leave him in the game with 2 fouls.
Yeah, but I think they're going to give him ticky-tack fouls. That's what I'm
I
worried
mean,
about. He's going to get a couple ticky-tack perimeter fouls
Jaylen
right
Brown
off
was
the
getting
bat.
phantom call fouls last game. They better get some ticky-tack fouls this game.
Yeah. That's the bad part about these 7-game series. And you know what? It's funny. Did I share it with you or with some other people? But did you know that the NCAAs have higher ratings in these NBA finals?
Really?
I
mean,
think
it
it's
doesn't really surprise
because
me.
you don't talk about the officiating because it's just one game, right? And it just feels like whoever loses just blames the officiating, on either side. And I'm not saying that I don't do it either, you know, but it just feels like the officiating overshadows the actual game. Like we're not talking about the changes that they did, taking Draymond off Marcus Smart, putting him on Jaylen Brown, which I thought was really good, right? Jordan Poole stepping up, finally making some shots. Now, to be fair, I watched Big T, JSU, and K Fallick today, and I agree with them. I don't think he's going to do so well in Boston tonight, right? Do we count him as a role player that he plays better at home, or do you think Jordan Poole can have a big night tonight, Tyler?
I think he's one of them guys where if his shot's falling, I mean, he could hit it anywhere. So I'm not going to say he's going to have a bad game just because he's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But he could also be just one of them streaky guys. He caught fire in the second half of that game. He could come out in this game, and the moment he touches the floor, he hits 2 to 3 threes. So
yeah,
I'm not betting it, but I could see the path where his streaky play does come out and play well.
Officiating notwithstanding, I thought the big difference in the game. I know everyone on the Celtics is going to tell me it was the refs in a 21-point game. I mean, whatever. But it was, to me, it was the difference between Derek White, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford. In game 1, they couldn't miss. In game 2, they couldn't make a shot. I think they rebound tonight, and that's kind of been how the Celtics have been all season. Are you looking at any props from those guys?
Yeah, I mean, definitely want to look at like a points plus assist on Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing that number at 18.5 right now. I wouldn't hate taking the over there. You just go points, rebounds, and assists at 22.5 because he has grabbing 5 to 6 rebounds a lot. So could go that route. And then looking at these stat leader ones, top point scorer. Like if you think Jalen has a big game or Tatum plus 145 or plus 430. Player with most assists, Marcus Smart plus 360. Player with most threes made, Marcus Smart 18-1 if you think he has a big game from 3.
18-1, huh?
Yeah, that'd be some ways I'd come with this one.
That's interesting. All right, GQ. I agree with you on these 2 points. The officiating is always overrated. The Celtics were getting blown out regardless. I completely agree on that. It just feels like whenever someone loses, it's always the official's fault. And I think you made a great point here. The Warriors weren't giving Horford those wide open looks. And I actually did things besides look at who's officiating the game in preparation for today's game. And that was one of the things that people who are smarter at me than breaking down a basketball game mentioned was they started picking up earlier. And then before they were dropping back and packing the paint. And I'm not talking about in the half court set. I'm talking about in transition. Now it seems like they're running them off the line and staying real close. And Horford didn't get those looks. So that's something that I think that they can continue to do, right? Assuming they're in the game. So, that's always got to be there, right? We got to use that as a caveat. So Robert Williams, a big part of the defense this year. He hasn't looked 100% healthy. And in fact, if you go by plus minus, the best lineup has not had Robert Williams involved. How do you see him playing out tonight, Tyler? You're muted.
He took a hard bump in that last game too. Towards the end, where he fell, I think he knocked knees with Marcus.
Man,
Smart
is he pulling Isaiah Thomas? Is he gonna mess up his whole career doing this?
Who, Robert Williams?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a little different. We're talking Isaiah Thomas, as in the midget Isaiah Thomas, right?
Yeah, you don't even know
Are
who
you
the other
talking?
Isaiah
Are you
Thomas
talking
is.
Are you talking your era?
The guy that you've only seen on YouTube? No, I'm talking about the guy that you actually watched. Yeah, they did this in 2015. I think was it 2015? I can't remember what year it was.
I think it's different because you got to think about it. Like he's a big man, like with a knee problem, which it could be one of the ones that's just like it messes up his whole career. But you give him the summer off, he could bounce back. To where Thomas had to like basically rely on his athleticism. Once you lose that athleticism at 5'8" against 6'4" guards, how are you gonna beat them?
But let's be honest, like Robert Williams isn't the skilled fundamental player like Hakeem Olajuwon. Like he relies on his athleticism a lot too. I think at his size, he's one of the quickest players and has one of the best hops. And when he was healthy, as the anchor of that Celtics defense, being able to rotate on rim protection, and then also being able to switch. And I mean, he wasn't excellent against guards, but he was at least passable enough to where they could, maintain the integrity of their defense was a big deal. So I just hope that's not the case because, hey, I'm rooting for the Warriors in this series, but, I do think he's a great player, and I do think the Celtics team is a lot of fun. No, he's not the new Greg Oden. Boy, Jonathan Nelson's coming with some takes today. Can't wait to talk to you. Yeah, can't wait to talk. Yeah, Bynum might be closer. Greg Oden barely even played. Right? I mean,
dude, Bynum would have been so good if he never got hurt.
I don't think so. He didn't have the work ethic.
Dude put up triple doubles with blocks before.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
he tried, he was one of the best centers in the league. But
I'm just saying, I never saw him being like an elite player because everything that I read about him was that he wasn't like the hardest worker in the offseason. So, yeah, here we go. All right, so what else you got for us on tonight's game, Tyler? Like, I'll be honest, like we've kind of like had these same arguments a bunch, so it's kind of tough. Also, chat if you want to bring stuff up too, right? Because how many times have we talked about the way these two teams match up? I mean, obviously, we expect Tatum to have a big game. I think Jaylen Brown's going to have another big game. I expect Steph to have a big game. I'm worried about the supporting cast for the Warriors. However, what have I left out?
No, I think we touched on everything. I'm just looking through some of these props to see if there's any good ones to give out. Like these popular parlays that they have on FanDuel. Like, I'm just not seeing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like now they have the Jaylen Brown, Klay Thompson combined threes made that we were looking for last game.
Okay.
And they wouldn't list them together.
Yeah.
But
everyone's high on Klay last game. I don't see a lot of Klay love in the chat today. He could be an X factor though, right? Because if in the Warriors script where they win this game, don't you think it's because of a great game from Klay Thompson?
Yeah, for sure. If Klay goes off, then Boston's going to have to pretty much play like a perfect game to win it here. Especially if Golden State's other guys play exactly how they played in the first two games.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be real tough for Boston.
Yeah, I'm really looking at the three guys that had a rough game too to bounce back. I'll pull those up right now.
If I was going to bet on Klay, like I would just go big or go home. Like is Klay 5+3s, Golden State wins 9-1. Like if he goes off, they probably win. And it's going to be from 3.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Al Horford's over is at 11.5. I like that. I think he bounces back. What do you think, Tyler?
I agree. I think he bounces back, but I think I'd rather go to Smart at 13.5.
That was the next one I was going to ask you.
Yeah, like if you had to take one of the Boston guys, I'd take Smart at 13.5 over Horford.
How about Derek White, who was absolutely fantastic in game 1 and had a rough game 2?
I don't hate it. I was going to go to his PRA, but it's up to 18.5. We were getting it right around 15, 16. I really don't want to bet an 18.5.
And do you think I got a 17.5, but do you think it's just because that, that's kind of like the narrative, like what I'm saying right now, these aren't like secrets. It's not like other people aren't targeting those three players because the difference in the Celtics was the performance of those three who were just lights out in game 1 and then struggled in game 2. Do you think that's just because of the narrative that these guys are going to bounce back?
It could be, but he had a decent game in game 2. Like it wasn't like he played a terrible game. Like, do we pencil in Derek White for 20 points like he did in game 1 all the time? Probably not.
He's been pretty good. All right, we the people. He said, I said Klay 20 plus and win. No, okay, I saw that. But I'm saying on our last show, was that Sunday? Everybody, the whole chat was like Klay, right? It looked like the Muhammad Ali fan club in 1961 before he had changed his name. Bielika should not be on the floor. Disagree. I thought he's done well. I think he's doing well in his minutes. And the way that Boston plays, I don't think they can take advantage of him. I thought he did fine there. So we'll disagree there. What about Jordan Poole unders?
Too low for me to bet him.
Okay.
His points are set at, let's pull them up, 12.5. Pretty low. I'm not betting an under on 12.5 when the dude could get hot from 3.
Mm-hmm.
His assists are at 2.5. He could fall into 3 assists.
Mm-hmm.
And his threes are sitting at 1.5. No chance am I betting it under 1.5 on Jordan Poole's threes. Could it hit? Yes, but I'm not taking that chance when he's going to let 5 or 6 fly.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Let's talk about Draymond. I mean, everybody, the one of the running narratives, and like I said, it's kind of funny doing the show. I feel like during the regular season, Tyler, we have our own show, and we're different, because we can talk about different games, and we're highlighting different things. With the finals, the 3 games off, right, and only one game, one series, one set of matchups to talk about. A lot of these talking points that I'm bringing up today are going to be recycled, or you're going to hear them, if you're consuming different media. Everyone thinks that Draymond Green's going to be in foul trouble right off the bat. Would you look at one of his unders? I've seen 21.5 on PRA.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate betting his unders. They just put a prop up on DK. Listen to this one.
Let's hear it.
Consecutive 3-pointers. Will any player make consecutive 3-pointers? Second 3 made at same score as first made. So they got to make back-to-back 3s.
Without the other team scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, so Steph plus 450 to hit a 3. They snag a rebound. He comes back down, lets one fly. This is at any point in the game spread.
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
He's hot. They keep.
I think Steph at 4-1 is way better value than Klay at 8-1.
Yeah, Tatum 11-1. He can't let 2.
I like that better
fly.
than Klay too.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown 14-1. Like that. I like some of these props. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't go crazy on them, but I think it's definitely taking a shot on like the Steph and the Tatum one. Those guys could definitely walk into a 3, go play defense, come back down the floor, and hit another one.
Yeah. We the People says, why is Draymond the talk of the town? It's because he had like 2 moving screens that they put up on Twitter. So everyone who backed the Celtics thinks that that's
2?
the reason that they won. How many were there really? And let's act
lot.
like he's not the only person in the NBA.
He's not the only person that sets
like
them for
everybody sets moving screens. It's absolutely ridiculous. Complaining about moving screens is like complaining about carrying or traveling.
Did you see what I sent?
Like hasn't been going on ever.
Did you see what I sent you this morning? Where they were setting Steph moving screens in practice to get open shots.
Stop. I mean, it's just such sour grapes. At least after game 1, I gave you guys your props. The Celtics fans lose, and no, they could, even though it was 21 points, it had to be the refs' fault. The refs were worth, my bad, the refs were 22 points to the line. You got to be kidding me. Is there a line that Draymond will get a tech?
No, I mean, I can't find one. You may be able to find one on a certain book, but I don't see one.
He's 3 away from a full game suspension.
Looking at some of these turnover props, I mean, Jason Tatum over 3.5 minus 105.
Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson over 1.5 plus 115. Marcus Smart over 2.5 plus 105.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry over 2.5, but it's juiced to hell minus 175.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond over 2.5 minus 150.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's some good turnover props here we could hit some overs on.
You know what I want to hit those is after the Celtics win, because they're terrible. They have so many turnovers coming off a win. That's one of the reasons why I struggled to take them in the series. And even if it would have gone 1-2 the opposite way, I would have felt better. I completely agree with this take. Rance says Poole more likely to show up than Klay. He's a better playmaker at this point in their careers.
I slightly disagree.
Why is that? Break it down.
Because even though we've shit on Klay for his defense and how he isn't the same player he used to be, he's still better than Poole. But they are going to, even though Poole's going to get his 17 minutes here, God forbid they hunt him on defense and he isn't shooting well, he's got to go sit down. Like, Klay is going to be out there for the majority of the game, so he has more time to catch fire, I'd say.
Yeah. What do the Warriors finally have a bad third quarter? I think this is a great question, because I'll tell you what, Tyler, something that I might be targeting on the live show tonight is the Warriors third quarter. And it's because it's been a trend. Boston's been bad in the third quarter. Warriors have been good. The only question is, will Boston be up 10 going into halftime, right? Like, I expect Boston to have a good start. In fact, I like Boston first half more than Boston full game. What do you think of those takes?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a way to go, because Boston does come out of halftime kind of flat. And I'm not banking on the Warriors having a bad third quarter. You can get them at even money right now to win that third quarter if you just want to bet it now.
Yeah.
Thinking that Boston does go up at halftime, the Warriors come out, make some adjustments, and take the third quarter. But, I mean, I just think this game, it kind of plays very close the whole way. And I think we the people might have a good point. He said it earlier in the chat. The game plays close till about the fourth. Boston falls flat and loses the game by double digits. Now, they might not lose it by double digits, but I think they do end up getting a ton of open shots towards late in the game. And
You don't
some of
think
them
they're going to knock
start
them down
fall.
at home with that environment's going to be absolutely bonkers tonight.
I don't think home court matters as much for a Boston team that's 5-4 at home in the playoffs.
That's a great point. I guess I'm just thinking, right? Like they're so much more wild than like the Cleveland fans were.
Yeah.
Who
It's
the
just like,
Warriors played half their
I
finals.
don't trust their home court isn't the same as Golden State's home court. You know what I mean?
You don't think so?
No.
I think it's just
Golden State, it's like 9. They didn't lose their first game at home until
okay. Golden State plays better at home, but if you're comparing the fan bases, I think the Boston fans are just as wild. I think it's just as loud and crazy.
Oh no, it could just be as loud as crazy, but I'm just saying like the home court advantage in this playoffs, from what I've seen, it's not as much as it means for Golden State.
Jake's actually putting what I said into numbers here. First half on Celtics has been good lately. Warriors are 1-4 against the spread on the road. First half, last 5. So I didn't have the numbers to back it up, Jake. I was just kind of going off subconscious and feel. But obviously those are the numbers that back it up. So thank you for adding that. What's up to my guy Sign Collectibles? We the People's going contrarian here. He's like the only one that really likes the Warriors tonight. Everyone else seems to be the other way. We the People. So we will see. What's up to our guy Walla. Yeah, we will have a night. We're going to be on the live show as well, besides breaking it down right now. What do you think about this play from our guy DJ? Boston first quarter -1. Like it. Warriors third quarter +1. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that at all. I mean, we just talked about Boston first half and the Warriors having a good third quarter, so don't hate that play at all.
Yeah. What do you think about this take? Boston fans will give the Splash Bros more motivation to shut them up. Do you believe that's true?
Could be. They're going to talk a lot of trash, though.
Yeah. But the Warriors haven't been the best road team this year either, right? You can say the Bostons haven't been the best home team, but the Warriors haven't been the best road team either. And in fact, that was something during the regular season that we really went upon, right? Was what was fading the Warriors on the road. Now, a lot of times that was against the spread when they're laying points on the road. A different situation, right? But I think they're so much better at home, which is why I think having Game 7 at home means so much in this series. All right, what else you got for us, Tyler?
No, I'm just going back through to see if I can find this one stat from earlier, if you want to break down something real quick.
Okay, so I'm going to ask for your opinion here. I've been Team Looney this series. I hit the over 6.5 in Game 2, and that one got home. It's 6.5 again. What do you think of me going back to Kevon Looney? Is that well going to dry up, or do you think it's just a good matchup?
No, I think it's a good matchup. He's going to see the minutes here, so definitely wouldn't mind going back to it.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's something else we'll be looking forward to going on there tonight. What else do I got here? Andrew Wiggins, always a key to this team. He's been really consistent. He gets like 17 or 18 every night. Seems like not minus 15. 15.5 is his point total tonight. What do you expect from Andrew Wiggins tonight, Tyler?
I mean, I still say he's the most solid player for the Warriors over this playoff run. Like, even though Steph's playing out of his mind right now, Wiggins just still shows up and does his thing. So I wouldn't hate going over on him. I wouldn't hate going over on his threes at 1.5 at -125.
Oh my gosh, dude! There's a guy in Max Headroom that looks like Max Headroom in our chat. This guy looks exactly like Max Headroom because Brandon Cola thinks that it doesn't matter where Game 7 is if it never happens. Can you believe he's bringing the heat to me? Not even what's up, guys? Hey, usually we get like a hey spread and Tyler or like hit the like button before we start getting roasted. But Brandon Cola coming in and attacking my takes right off the bat. So let's see. We've gone over Curry, Wiggins. Oh, well, Curry. Is he just money? 28.5 here? Like, do we keep going?
I'm not betting his under. I tried it in Game 1. I wanted to go back to it in Game 2. It didn't work, so I'm staying away from him.
Do you know the 3 players that are averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 55% true shooting percentage in the NBA Finals?
Do I know the 5 or?
There's 3 players.
Oh, I mean, it's probably him, LeBron, and somebody else.
Who do you think? Just guess.
Jordan.
Ding, 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 ding. And people want to talk like Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic are better Steph. Unbelievable. unbelievable that they don't give my babyface assassin more love out here representing Northern California. But no, we got to hear how Jason Tatum is better. You got to be kidding me. Is he going to come on tonight? Brendan said, give me a link. All right. What else you got for us, Tyler?
Yeah, I found that thing. It's off of a loss. Both teams are good in the playoffs this year. Warriors are 5-0. Boston's 6-0. Boston's beating teams by 15.5 points margins following defeat, and Golden State's outscoring teams by 15.4 points following a loss. So, I mean, the blowout script is there for Boston.
Yeah, that's a good stat.
But I'm just not – I just have this weird feeling about tonight.
What's your weird feeling?
That everyone's going to bet on Boston and that Golden State's
Well, I
going
think
to win.
they are. It's 3.5 right now. I'll bet you it's 4.5 by the time we jump on with Keg. What do you think?
Yeah, very possibly could be. I haven't seen like the breakdown of the numbers, but yeah, I could see it getting to 4.
Yeah, man, it just feels like a St. Patrick's Day parade. Yeah, no, definitely, Brandon. I was just messing with you. Otto Porter Jr. had a big game in game 1, was kind of silent in game 2, right? How do you expect him to play tonight? I have his number at. Do I not have a points for him? Do they just have the peripherals? I only have peripherals on him. I'm on Bookmaker right now. I have 3.5 for rebounds and
5.5 is points for me. So 2 threes. I mean, he could go over it. Just like you said, the Warriors don't play very well on the road, so not looking to back their role players on the road.
Okay. I kind of like it though, just because I mean, how many minutes do you think he gets? I think he gets at least 15 to 18. You don't think he'll drop 2 threes? Because I don't think he's going to get a lot of attention.
No, I mean, he very well could, but it's just not something I'm running to bet in this matchup. Like, if I'm taking
we're just kind of going all over the
probably
props
going
because
to Steph,
yeah,
I'm
because
not
I mean,
taking these lower name guys.
How many times have we argued about the main matchups, right? Tatum. Tatum's going to be guarded by Wiggins. It looks like Draymond's going to go on Jaylen Brown. Steph runs through a million screens, so it's whoever ends up on him. It's so crazy. You know what I was thinking about the other day? If we're just going to talk some basketball. So everybody copied this Steph thing where you run up and you shoot a 3 like at the beginning of the shot clock that would have got you pulled when I played, right? The coach would have pulled you. How come nobody copies him like just running around this court and being in excellent condition? Nobody wanted to copy that part. They just want to copy the heat check 3s. What do you think of that, Tyler?
Because nobody wants to play without the ball in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so funny. I think that's one of the things that he's best at. But other than Jordan Poole, right? Like, who's really like mimicking that?
You're gonna walk up to a high school kid who's averaging 40 points a game, on the best plus player on his team, and tell him, "We're taking the ball out of your hands, and you're supposed to run around 6 screens." You know what he's gonna tell you? I got scholarships to get. Go somewhere else and go tell somebody else to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right there. I don't know a lot about AAU. You're younger than me. You know how the kids act.
Ball movement without the ball. Like, maybe some scouts see it and they're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be good," but that ain't gonna get you into the ESPN 100 and like get you good scholarships.
All right. Yeah. Get with Sports Keg. It's subscription for the live show, DJ. Subscription for the live show. Get with Keg, and he will give you all the details. Courtesy of runpuresports.com. If you're not a member, head on over runpuresports.com. Use that promo code GetBets. Richie Smalls says the Warriors on fire early and wins easier than everyone thinks. Okay, we got a couple people on the Warriors. We're getting there. We the people says Otto is fine. I think GP2 has a game. I don't know about that. I almost like Otto a little bit more on the props than Gary Payton. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm not betting either of them guys.
Okay, let's say I give you the mythical $100 and you have to bet the prop on one of them. Who would you rather bet, Porter or GP2?
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even see any GP2 props listed, so I'm taking Porter.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Actually, now you're thinking about it, I didn't see a lot either. Brandon says props are tough tonight. Boston is so balanced. What do you think of that take?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, but it's just like the other thing with props once you get to the finals is they kind of have these like pinpointed, like you're kind of crossing your fingers and hope. Yeah, and you're kind of crossing your fingers and hoping they can get up over these numbers, and it's just not something I'm looking to get behind.
Especially when we're taking a lot of the full.
We got a couple of guys in the chat, like Brandon Cole knows a good bit about baseball. A couple of the other guys do too. I wish we had Joey for this one, but on DK they have cross sports specials tonight. Boston 15 plus threes made, and the Red Sox 10 plus hits plus 340.
I can't help you there.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't know anything on the other side. Marcus Smart 8 plus assists, which is 100% doable here. Nathan Eovaldi 8 plus strikeouts. I don't know how good of a pitcher he is.
He's
but
good, but I don't know.
10 to 1 for that. 10 to 1 for that spread might be worth it. Like Klay Thompson,
message
5
Joey
plus,
in the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, we the
Go
people's
ahead.
a baseball guy too. So let me hear your take on some of these. Klay Thompson 5 plus threes made, and Jock Peterson 2 plus RBIs 11 to 1. Draymond 8 plus assists, and Alex Wood 8 plus strikeouts 18 to 1. Steph Curry 6 plus threes made, and Mike Yatsamertsky 3 plus total bases. I probably murdered that last name. Plus 850. Curry 35 plus points. Brandon Crawford 1 plus home run 25 to 1. Golden State 15 plus threes made. Giants 10 plus hits plus 330.
Yeah, I can't help you on those. But if you know both sports, that might be an interesting and fun way to do it. DJ says, can we take Tatum unders? My answer is no. But what do you think, Tyler?
I wouldn't bet his unders. Maybe like
Yeah,
his rebounds under
just
or his
high.
assists under, but I'm not betting his points under.
Oh, how about him going from like 13 assists to 3 assists? What did you think?
What we should have did after that spread is they had the series leader props for this. And he was the favorite to lead an assist after that. And there was no chance he was going to lead an assist. There was no chance he was going to replicate that game.
We pretty much missed the boat on that one. Is there anyone we can take advantage of now?
I mean, we kind of didn't at the same time because he's still the favorite. But really? Draymond's down to plus 130.
Yeah, but we don't think Draymond's going to get a lot of stats tonight.
Marcus Smart plus 650. You think he could rack up some assists today?
Yeah.
Steph Curry plus 750.
No.
That'd be the only other guy I would look at.
Okay. Steph and Klay combined for at least 60 tonight. Richie Smalls thinking Steph Curry's going for 48 tonight. Do we think that GP2 and Otto over Poole on the road? Poole's a home player in this series. What do you think of that?
I think so, yeah. Because if these Boston guys are hitting their tough shots, they're going to hunt Poole on defense, and that's just going to mean more Gary Payton, more Otto Porter, less offense on the other end. They need more defense if they're making their shots.
We the people thinks that Tatum has another 5.5 turnovers. Consigliere Code says Marcus Smart cashed over 3.5 rebounds last 9 out of 10 games.
For that guy in the chat that likes them to score 60 plus points, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson 60 plus combined is plus 550 on DK. Or not
and
DK,
that's the guy, Richie Smalls, that always reminds everyone to hit the like button. That's right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. So thank you for that, Richie. And Tyler says you can find that at plus 550. I agree with him here. This is a great comment here. Marcus Smart cashed over 3.5 rebounds last 10 games, only missing when he didn't play the fourth, still had 2. It's like pocket aces. Even if it gets cracked, it's getting your money in strong pre-flop. I completely agree. That's a great comment. Poole's been huge in the playoffs. Yeah, I can't argue there. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's a fun player too. And he's got a lot of quickness, so he can create even when the Warriors aren't doing well.
Could you imagine they make him second in MVP in the MVP ladder after he hit 2 deep threes? Hey, don't you think the guy like Looney?
MVP ladder, those 2 blonde girls in the front row that he was looking at?
Yeah, it's if anybody, it should be Looney should be second.
Yeah. All right, I got a bunch of baseball comments, but I'm gonna put you guys can just do that there because I can't comment on them. Iggy might come back and mess both those up. They can't go back to Iguodala, can they?
I mean, there's a good chance Kurt does. Is there any matchups?
I hope not. As someone who's going to be rooting for the Warriors tonight, I hope not. GP2 would be a good DFS play. I think this is another great comment too. Just give me whoever loses tonight in Game 4. Isn't that an easier way to approach it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have these points matchups like head-to-heads. Marcus Smart to outscore Jordan Poole. He's minus 115.
Mm-hmm.
Horford to outscore Poole is plus 120. And all the other ones are Klay versus Jalen, Jalen versus Steph, Steph versus Tatum. Mm-hmm. I'm not touching any of those. Let's see if FanDuel has any of these.
All right, while you do that, I'm going to read this off from Make It Happen when he was talking about how I was saying that these kids don't copy Steph running off ball. make it happen is basically backing up yours. He says, you got the ball out in high school. I coached Colin Sexton's older brother, Jordan, and that's the time Colin went bonkers. And the idea is you do have to kind of be crazy to go ahead and get that attention. You want to be on those mixtapes and on all those great Twitter things. Here's a good one. I think they use GP2 to put – this is cool. We're talking about the game and not the officials. I think they use GP2 to put on Brown so Dre doesn't get baited into foul trouble. I don't think so. He's too small. Yeah, I think
they all shoot right over him.
I think they'll stick with him on there because now you got Dre on Brown, you got Wiggins on Tatum, and of course this is the new NBA, so they switch so much that it's not like they'll be working against each other all game. But that's the way that they'll originally match up. If I'm Steve Kerr, I kind of like those matchups, don't you, Tyler? I think Dre did really well against Brown, and I thought Wiggins has been pretty good against. I think that'd be too easy.
You don't want to put a little guy on Brown because just like I said earlier, when he said when he was gonna have like a great series right here, you put a little guy on him, you could shoot over him.
Yeah,
he could probably get past GP because he's stronger than him. If he gets one step on him, he's bumping him out of the way, and now he's going towards the hoop. You put a bigger guy on him, you kind of force him to play from outside in. Like he's not bullying Draymond to get to the hoop. You know what I mean?
And what's the biggest weakness in his game? It's his handles.
Exactly. So
you want to put a bigger guy on that's going to contest the shot, and you want to force him to put the ball on the floor.
Yeah, like these little guys, like even when he starts to feel a little bit like hesitant with his dribbles, he can just pick it up and shoot right over him.
Yeah.
With Draymond, he can't do that.
So we'll see, and we're not saying you're wrong. We're just saying right now, I think they will continue to go the route that they went that last game. Tyler, what do you make of these halftime adjustments here and how the Warriors have been good in third quarter in both these games? What do you expect tonight? I mean, is that another one where we're just, just like we assume Draymond's going to get in foul trouble, we just assume the Warriors are going to win the third quarter? Do you think that maybe that's an assumption that gets cracked tonight?
I don't think so. I mean, this has been years of just watching it. Mm-hmm. The Warriors' third quarter has just been something, they've always been good at.
Right.
In Boston for the last couple of years has always laid a flat third quarter.
Yeah, even when on that run, the third quarters weren't too good.
Even when they were winning all them games in the regular season, their third quarters were never good.
So his comeback on our GP2 Jaylen Brown debate, he says, don't focus too much on size. As long as he keeps him in front of him, Brown will be forced to pass. We'll see. I think he would just shoot. I personally think he would just shoot over, but we'll find out tonight. I think you're making some great points. Brandon Cole says, the question is, does Horford play a majority 4 or 5? A great question from our Max Headroom lookalike. I think they're better with him at the 5 right now because I don't think Robert Williams is 100%. I think the best lineup has Horford in it and Derek White in it. What do you think, Tyler?
I'd say they only want to play one big matched up in this series because you don't want both them bigs out on the floor because then it gives 2 chances for the shooters to make these switches and hit these threes for Golden State. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think you got to play – like they'll start off the game with both of them in, but then you'll see it.
But that's where Looney gets to get loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just say you start them both and you stagger them for the rest of the game after that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of minutes for Robert Williams. I think the Horford gets a majority of it. So I see a lot
this
of
smart rebounds plus assists at 9.5 plus 105 is sticking out to me. But I mean, looking at his recent games, he had a combined 7 in last game, which he played terrible in. Mm-hmm. He had a combined 9 in game 1. In the game 7 against the Heat, he had 14, then 7, 9, 11, 21, 17, 12, 5, 10. And then if you want to keep going back through his playoff games, but I think he bounces back here at home. I kind of like that over 9.5 rebounds plus assists because I think he's going to get like 7 assists here.
Isn't Marcus Smart like 6'5"?
Yeah, he's like 6'5", 6'4".
He's way bigger than GP2. Brandon Cole says it's bad for Horford threes if he's playing under the rim. I don't necessarily think so because what's going to happen if he's at the 5, he'll get a Looney on him, right? And so that's going to give him a better chance to get those wide open looks because Looney's going to sag off and play drop. So we'll see. The Horford threes, a lot of them came in transition too, and they knocked that off in game 2. Let's see if they continue to do that. I thought that was the best adjustment they made was to make sure they just stuck with them in transition, and they actually gave up some layups and stuff, just trying to prevent that. So All right, Tyler, we're doing pretty well here. What else you got?
The
for
other,
us?
like, just one thing, since we're touching on height with some of these guys,
Yeah,
they tried for the longest time to say Draymond was 6'9".
he's not.
Now they have him listed at 6'6".
He is.
There's a picture of him standing next to the soccer player Pogba, who's listed at 6'3", and Pogba's taller than him. So
Really?
who's lying here? Yeah.
There's no way Draymond's 6'2". He's not that small.
That's what I mean. So like Pogba's got to be a good like 6'7", 6'8", but still
Could be a
like,
weird picture too. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, it's
All right,
fucking
I'm looking
funny
at
to look
Marcus
at.
Smart right now because in the chat they're saying he's 6'3".
I see 6'3" on Google. 6'3", 220.
Okay. Well, what's Gary Payton? 6'2". So okay. Your point stands. We the people. I stand corrected. I stand corrected then because you're right. That's not that much bigger, and he was Defensive Player of the Year. But to be fair, I mean that whole team could have been Defensive Player of the Year. So he wasn't my Defensive Player of the Year. I like Baguette Biyombo myself. But that's not cool to say nowadays, right? Because he's the most slandered player in the NBA just because he shut down the league. Which I guess.
Who was that?
Baguette Biyombo, Rudy Gobert.
Oh.
Shaq called him that one time.
I'm like, why is he like praising Bismack Biyombo right
now? Shaq calls him Baguette Biyombo. I thought that was one of the funniest things. All right, Tyler, we done pretty good here.
I don't buy GP3's height either, or GP2's height. It says he's 6'3". No. Steph stood next to him recently.
Way bigger. Yeah.
Steph's listed at 6'2" spread.
He's probably legit 6'2" though, don't you think?
Well, then what's Gary Payton, 5'11"?
Probably, or my height.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Steph's listed at 6'2", he's bigger than Gary Payton and has a decent bit on him. Like, that 6'3" on Gary Payton's a lie, which makes it even more impressive that he could dunk the ball for one step.
Oh, yeah, dude. As far as athleticism, he's badass. On the final count, I don't know if they still call it the final countdown, but basically the DFS preview show today, there, JSU made a great point. He's like, if he was 6'10", he would be one of the best players in the league. He'd be like an all-star.
Yeah.
Walla found it.
Draymond. Yeah. All you gotta do is type in Draymond Pogba on Google. It'll pop up.
Do I want to? I don't even know who Pogba is. Should I know that? Am I not an international?
The only reason I know him is from like playing the FIFA video game. He's on the France team. Game? France has all the fast players. I just use all the fast players.
What do you play more, FIFA or Madden?
FIFA. Madden sucks.
Unbelievable. They're gonna. Are you even allowed to vote? They're gonna take away your American citizenship. Brandon Cola, looking like Max Headroom, says that Pogba and Draymond is spreading Tyler. I should know that. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll bet you I know more tennis players than you. All right. What country is Emil Rusevori from? All right, put that in the chat. Make it happen, says Charles Barkley was a legit 6'4" in college. Auburn's trainer from back in my day was my trainer at the college I coached at. Oh yeah, he was. That's why it was so awesome what he did. He was so small and he played power forward. And now like that's normal. Back then,
I got guys in the chat on my side.
Okay, I don't play those games. I'm just kind of messing with you. Close. He's close, but I don't think that's correct.
Sweden?
No. Here he goes, Finland. He got it right. Yeah, there you guys go. So, see, okay, you guys know more than me about all these international players. So, all right, this is wonderful. 43 minutes on a game that we've talked about we've probably done like over 6 hours of content on just this specific matchup so far, Tyler. I think we've done a great job. So, let's sum it up. Let's give all of our best thoughts right now. And we can do more than one, Tyler, okay, hold on. We'll answer this question real quick. What about Draymond under 8.5? I kind of like under on all the PRA better. Let's say you want to go Draymond. That's a good question. Let's say you want to go Draymond under. Would you go Draymond under on points or under on PRA? I kind of like PRA more.
PRA just because you get the bigger number. But his points, I mean, the dude just doesn't score points.
Yeah. Talk about not working on your game. So. I wish they had odds. What's the chance that Draymond's ejected from the game and there's a podcast out before the game's over?
-110.
Make it happen, says Draymond under for sure. Richie Small says Warriors by 10. We the people is on it. We the people. I don't know if you saw my tweet. I don't even know if you're on Twitter. Did you know that you're in the Belmont? Your namesake is in the Belmont. You are not the only We the People in the world, and I think that you're favored to win there. So not only is he giving out winners in the chat, he is lapping horses out there at the Preakness or whatever they're on. That's another one I don't know. So forgive me for my lack of sports knowledge. Tennis, NFL, NBA, I'm pretty good. The rest of them, I'll admit that I am a little bit ignorant. I do get a little tunnel vision towards the sports I'm capping. So, Tyler, we can give out more than one. What are your best bets for the day?
Give me the under in this game. For sure, give me the under. Give me Warriors third quarter because before the game, well, I'll leave out one there for you.
No, that's fine. I mean,
it's even money, so I think we have to take it before the game. Mm-hmm. And give me Marcus Smart over that 9.5 rebounds plus assist. I think he bounces back in a nice way.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I like Kevon Looney again over 6.5. I think that's kind of an underrated one, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about him after that really good game one. So that makes me feel a little better that number's not going to get absolutely steamed. If you want to go a different way on it, his PRA is 18.5. I don't have a points and rebounds right in front of me, but I think that would be even better there. Klay Thompson PRA 25.5. I'm not on that, but I saw a couple people in the chat were on that. And the last one I like is the Otto Porter over 5.5 points. So Tyler, I'll be talking about this game more tonight with Jay, but at least it'll be going on and it'll be stuff to talk about and not just breaking down the same footage of the game. Let me get a couple more predictions from you. Is it going to be a close game? Will we still be on the air at the final buzzer, or will we have logged off because it's an absolute blowout? What do you think?
I think you'll still be there. But it's going to be one of them things like 5 minutes left in the game. It's going to be like, yeah, this is probably over. Like, it's not going to be 20-point lead. It's going to be like they open it up to 10, one or the other teams, and it's like, yeah, I don't think this is coming back.
But you don't think it's going to be like we're down by like 18 at the end of the first quarter?
No, I don't think it's going to be anything like
breaking down the NFL because the game is hard to talk about.
I mean, it could be like you're down like 8 at the end of the first quarter, but then halftime it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, because you and I both agree that I think those player props and the stuff that we love to do on that show are tougher during blowouts, right?
Now that over under largest lead 17.5, give me the under.
Oh, okay. Well, see, if that's the case, then we'll have a really fun tonight. Sprinkle, here's from We the People. He says, plus 900K, 25 plus and win. Hey, I hope you're right, man. I love Klay Thompson, man. He's just like such a cool guy to root for. Jonathan Nelson loves his dad. I actually like his dad a lot too when I've heard him on the radio and doing spots. So I'm a big Klay guy. I've just been disappointed. But if anyone could just get hot out of nowhere, right, it's Klay Thompson, especially with that shooting stroke, because it doesn't take a lot, right? Even with the diminished athleticism, the stroke is still there. I'm sure if you watched him like before the game, he's making almost everything. I actually like his form. If you were to teach a kid how to do it, I like his form better than Steph's. Personally, Steph is just, the greatest shooter I've ever seen since Larry Bird. Oh man, I wonder if Larry Bird played now, what his numbers would be like. I wonder.
Let's talk about that 3v3 we seen on Twitter the other day. What was it? Bird, Magic, and Jordan.
Oh, you just really want to get me worked up. Just bagging on all my childhood heroes, huh? Okay, so
I asked you if anyone would beat him in a 3.
Who's beating this 3? And I said, of course not. And the 3 was Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. So I got the greatest player of all time.
Now, like, we're saying like any 3. So like, of course, like I'm gonna try and like overwhelm you with size. And so it's like, give me Giannis, KD.
I mean, are you really
LeBron.
Overwhelming with size though?
Giannis is a little bit of a mismatch for those 3.
I think Magic will be fine on him.
But I think it kind of throws them into
Magic
like
covered like centers.
It gets a little weird though, spread, because like LeBron's 6'9", KD's 7 foot, Giannis is 7 foot.
But KD's gonna get punked.
Sure about that?
Yes.
Like, you really sure about that?
He's so skinny.
I think he'd light Larry Bird up from deep.
No. Mm-mm. Larry Bird.
If you try and put Larry, if Larry ends up on Giannis, just kiss your chances goodbye.
No, I don't think so. Larry's just gonna play like 3 feet off him. He's not gonna.
He's gonna run right at him. He's not gonna shoot.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. All right, chat. What do you guys think? Name your three, and I took Jordan.
Another three
Magic.
just to get you worked up a little bit.
Yeah, get me worked
if,
up.
If you want to even out the size and be like, oh, you're just overwhelming them with size, that's how you're winning. Mm-hmm. LeBron, Kawhi, Kobe. Pretty much dead even size. We would shoot
over you then.
It's dead even size. Like they're both about 6.
Magic and Larry Bird are taller than both of them. Larry Bird was like 6'10", 6'11".
I mean, they got them guys listed at 6'9", but yeah, they could be a little taller. But
Larry Bird's super tall. Look him standing next to Kevin McHale.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, see, I think they're underestimating Larry Bird.
Then just give me Giannis. Then I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't put in any of these.
I think Giannis would have problems in that game.
Like some of these guys are putting Hakeem in.
This might be the Robert Magic Johnson was awful on offense. Best passer of all time.
They're putting the big men in. I just can't put the big men in versus the guards.
Way. Shaq, no. Shaq would get
be able
crushed.
To guard anybody.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to guard anyone. It'd be absolutely
terrible. If it was make it take it, my team got the ball first. Just give me Wilt, Kareem.
I would rather have Wilt than Shaq in this.
Give me all three of them.
Exercise.
If we're playing make it take it, my team gets the ball first. Give me Wilt, Kareem, Shaq. I bet I win 21-0.
Okay, that's an interesting.
That's one of them ones.
That's an interesting way to go. But I love Wilt and I love Kareem, so you're really sticking me there. Jordan, Olajuwon, and Reggie. Why are we putting Reggie in there over Bird? Give me Bird over him.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy. He only puts Lakers on
Kobe,
there.
Shaq, LeBron. He didn't get his best. He didn't get his fucking Jerry West in there.
I know.
Giannis, LeBron, Durant's probably the three that does beat him.
I don't know.
I think they can.
I don't know. The shooting for Giannis and LeBron. I mean,
this is a 3v3 game spread. There is no outside shooting. It's Giannis. You're the big man. Get under the hoop.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Zodat likes your team too. So I'm old. I think my guys would win. My guys also are fiercer. Way fiercer. Way more fierce. My guys have way more competitive fire. Unbelievable the way you guys disrespect these legends. That's why when you say your guys are making history, they're not. Because guess what? Guys? In 20 years, you're going to be in some chat, and they're going to be saying that, Tracy McGrady III is better than LeBron, and you're going to be getting pissed off, too. All right? He says, give me Scalabrini. I like when Brandon Cola shows up. He brings some humor to the chat. Okay,
I've seen a good take on the Jordan LeBron thing, where it was they let Jordan they kind of let Jordan grow into his
Is that Doc Rivers?
I think it was Doc Rivers that said it, and they were
yeah, I thought
LeBron was you are gonna be this good, or you're not reaching expectations, and it's everyone penciled him in to be this great player, which he blew the expectations away, which is still baffling.
Yeah,
but still, if we'd have did him like Michael Jordan, where it was maybe this guy's gonna be good, and we're not
in '86, there was people that told you that Jordan will never win a championship.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. If you had guys in 03 that were this kid's not going to be good, and he did what he did, I think we'd look at him a lot different. But every Sports Illustrated and every news channel from Cleveland to Kansas had him on it, so everyone thought he was going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and we're leaving out 70s players, right? I disagree there. But it's fine. I mean, people have had that debate forever. Kobe, MJ, and Magic. See, but you're really not going to be vulnerable to size there, right? That's why I like Bird more. Also, they knew each other and they played together, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just why it's fun, because they actually did play together.
I've seen one hypothetical trade for the Raptors and Jazz. What do you think about it? OG and Anunoby sign and trade. They get Rudy Gobert.
Why would they do that? Why would you give up a two-way forward to get a one-way center?
I mean, but they don't have a big in the East where bigs dominate.
I don't think they do that. I think their team has just been the new way to do it. It's all wings, all athletic forwards.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it'd be tough it'd be a tough matchup. Fred VanVleet.
I don't think so. I think he'd mess up their offense.
I think he would just kind of play his role, play defense, catch some lobs from Van Fleet and Trent, like let the other guys flow. Like Scotty Barnes slowly starts to morph into the superstar that we think he's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think's better in next season, Pascal Siakam or Scotty Barnes?
Scotty Barnes.
Already, you think he makes the leap that fast?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm getting worried about our draft pick, Tyler. As long as we're just talking some general NBA here, I think we're going to blow it.
I mean, does it surprise you?
You know more college than me. Who should I be rooting for? At first I wanted that sharp kid. Now I kind of want Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, you want Jaden Ivey, but to be honest, I don't know what they're going to do. They might take like Keegan Murray.
Can you imagine that? That's why if we're live for a draft show, I might not be able to make it. I will be so upset. If they take Keegan Murray, you'll just see me disappear right off the screen.
Yeah, they're talking in the chat. If the Heat can somehow get Kyrie, they win next season. I don't think
he'd fit in there. We were talking about that on the other show I do this morning on the Wagering World.
I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, and he gave some hypothetical Kyrie spots.
Okay. That's all he does is give hypotheticals that never happen. What's the point of that podcast?
It's fun to listen to. Like, we don't need analytics 9,000 hours out of the day.
I do. That's all I listen to. I'm gonna make you listen to Dunked On, Tyler, instead of all these what
I listen to Dunked On, but there's certain times where I'm like, I don't want to hear the dunker's position and they had a 65% chance of winning the game. Let me get some hypotheticals, let me get some fun in there. But
all right, and I'll give you that. Bill Simmons does do that.
He was saying like a Kyrie sign and trade to Dallas for Brunson, where like everyone thinks Brunson's gonna be good. Luka and Kyrie could be a nice combo. And another one that interested me, just because this would just be load the deck, push the chips all in the middle, see what happens from there. LA calls, not the Lakers. And they say, here's Reggie Jackson, Norm Powell, couple firsts, and let's just run Kyrie, Paul George, and Kawhi and role players out there and see what happens.
Out of the 246 possible games, those guys play 120?
Yeah, but in that 120, what do they go 119 and 1?
Just like Harden, Durant, and Kyrie were awesome for the 9 games that they played together.
Kyrie to Pat Riley, like Randy Moss going to Bill Belichick.
That worked out for what, 1 season though?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, did that get you hyped? Did I send you that one, Tyler? As the old dude here, the guy representing Magic and Bird, and the older dude, and Dr. J. Did you see when Pat Riley challenged the Heat beat reporter to a push-up contest? I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm 77 years old. I'll do more push-ups than you right now.
Yeah, I seen that.
Dunked On with Nate Duncan and Danny LaRue. Dunked On. And the other one, my other favorite one, is the Dunker Spot. And that's with
Do you ever listen to Raja Bell's podcast at all?
No, is it good?
It's pretty good. Might be a little too hypothetical for you, but I don't know.
It probably is. Have you seen CJ on CJ and JJ on that First Take? So I don't watch that show, but the clips go on Twitter and I'll watch them.
I see their little clips on there. Yeah,
he's been doing good. Like they had Stephen A. Stephen A. can't bully these guys anymore. They know way more than him. They kept getting him. You know how he contradicts himself all the time and just says stuff to be wild. I was like, oh, I kind of like this now. JJ and CJ weren't playing that. I can't wait till we move on from these older hot take guys. And if we get more guys like JJ, CJ, Draymond in the media, I think that would be really awesome. Dre's pod, I actually enjoyed Draymond's pod too. I think it's really good, especially for me, because he talks about stuff that's exactly happening in the game. Obviously, it's slanted to the Warriors, but hey, I'm rooting for the Warriors, so I don't care. CJ's your favorite player, huh? All right.
I'd say I like the podcast from the players because they're talking to you from the floor, basically.
Yeah.
Better than some of the analytic podcasts because some of them are very knowledgeable, but some of them it just feels like you're getting 9,000 numbers thrown at you and you need a notebook and a pen to keep track of everything.
Well, you remember my numerical breakdown the other day, so you see why that just fits in perfectly for me. That was the funniest moments on this show.
When you turn on that podcast, you take down that poster behind you, and there's a whiteboard up, and you just start writing notes.
Yeah, down. I'm doing well. Yeah, I love all those numbers and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. So hey, we made this a pretty fun show today, even though we were just talking about the same series for over and over and over. Right? What's that, Martian Lynch, right? It's like when the finals start, you're going to talk about the Warriors and Celtics over and over and over.
Well, these draft props are starting to populate on these websites.
Is there some that we need to hit now that we'll lose value on?
I'm thinking not right now, but I'm thinking maybe the next show we do, or maybe not the next one, but the next game we do, maybe try and get Steve on here and we can talk about some of these.
Well, let's wait till afterwards because people are going to want to hear this stuff right now. Let's different. All right. Here's one, and we're not the experts, of course. To get the experts take, that was on a different show with Big TJSU and K Falk over at RumTourSports.com. Promo code GetBets to become a member. But if we were going to get different, Tyler, who would we pick at captain? This is stuff that you and I could still do.
Klay or Smart?
Steph.
No, everyone's putting Steph at captain.
No, everyone's going to put Tatum at captain tonight.
I think that's like the opposite move. Like the obvious move is, oh, Tatum, let me go to Curry. I think if you really want to get different, you go to like Klay, where everyone's like, he's been playing bad. Maybe like we should just like maybe give him a roster spot. You captain him and he does great. Like you're probably one of the few guys with that.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm afraid for Klay because he hasn't shot.
Or Marcus Smart, because I don't know how the pricing breaks down.
Is he going to get the usage there though?
He could.
Like what's his point ceiling? What's his point ceiling?
18 to 20 if he's hot.
So what's that fantasy points wise? Like 45, assuming he gets like 8 rebounds, 5 assists?
Somewhere in there. But if you're like me and you're thinking it's a low scoring game, that could get you there.
I guess that's true. I mean, Looney and the captain was
we're not looking at a 240 game here. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
yeah, I think Looney captain.
Like if Marcus Smart gives you 45, I'm not expecting Curry, Tatum, Brown, and Thompson all to come out and drop like 60 bombs because the game went to 240.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll get into that one on a different show. We the People. He's going to play captain. We the People agrees with you. I was hoping he would jump in on that.
I agree on his other take too, but just like you said, we'll get it. We'll get
into that because I mean, Raiders are going to run that division.
Yeah,
it's Las Vegas's world. Let's go. All right, Tyler. Let's review the best bets I gave out. Kevon Looney over 6.5. Otto Porter over 5.5. We both agreed on Warriors third quarter. What were yours?
Give me the under in the game and Marcus Smart over 9.5 rebounds plus assists.
Okay. Last DFS question here. 4-2 Celtics. What do you think? It's going to be too. For cash is fine, but for GPP, everyone's going to be 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2 is probably the obvious way. Another thing is you definitely want to listen to Big T and JSU break down that game because they're going to have
and they've already done it. So
yeah, I mean, so
like,
it's
if
done.
You jumped
you can
off
go
right
back
now.
and listen
Join
to it.
RunTourSports.com promo code GetBets. You can go on and listen to the show right now.
Yep,
the Discord's cracking right now. Yeah. So they'll give you better, but yeah, my guess is going to be that's going to be a pretty popular way to go. So all right, Tyler. So we're going to be here the rest of the week, right? Because we'll do a review tomorrow where all you Celtics fans can come on here and watch me mope. Right, if the Warriors lose, in the crazy case that we the People and Richie Smalls will allow them to take the victory lap tomorrow, so we'll be back tomorrow reviewing the game. You know, if we were going to do draft, we should do it on a review show, right, Tyler? I think that would be better.
That's what I mean. Like a review show,
rather than on a preview, because I wouldn't want to do it like on the Friday Game 4 preview.
Yeah, because like all the props aren't listed yet. There's only a few that populated. Like if we bring him on, he touches on the ones he likes for about 10 minutes. I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. Well, we'll reach out.
I'll shoot him a message, see what happens.
How much time is there between the end of the NBA Finals and the actual draft? Because I'm thinking we might also want to shoot the content then when everybody's talking about it. I'm just worried that it'll get lost in the shuffle.
Thursday, June 23rd.
And what day is the last day of the finals?
Game 7, I believe, would be Sunday the 19th.
Yeah, let's plan on it for after the finals. You know what we should do it? We should do if we did have a Game 7, which we will, Brandon Cola, we'll do a review and maybe a draft preview on that Monday.
Okay. Works for me.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, that is it for us. Thank you for making this chat better because I'm telling you what, guys, can you imagine Tyler and I trying to create this content when we've gone over and had these same arguments? And, like, I already know what he's going to say, right? It's not like a normal show where I'm like, oh, Tyler, I can't wait to hear what you say about the Wizards and the Hawks, you know? Like, we pretty much know where we're going. You guys made this a great show. Really bringing in a lot of comments. I love to hear everything that you guys are saying. We appreciate you guys for joining us and supporting Run Pure Bets. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you're not a member, join us over at runpurebets.com. Promo code BETS25 off. We will see you tomorrow unless you've made the smart investment and joined the live show, in which case we will see you tonight. Jonathan Nelson and I get to go back and forth. It'll be 2002 all over again. The Kings versus the Lakers. And watch out, Jonathan Nelson. Just like happened to Kobe, I might be poisoning your hamburger too.